welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Friday the 14th UHD. I am the 4K bad guy.
I am the real Juan.
The
Hope
real one.
everybody's having a great Wednesday. Uh, Kind of a tough week, man. Uh, Tough week, busy week.
Very. And we're on the third day. This is, for me, I'm pretty sure maybe for y'all also, spring break time.
Spring break.
It's, yeah, very busy.
I know everybody's out getting boozed up and getting some sun on, and we're having to sit there and work and put up with everybody's bullshit.
Bullshit, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh.
yeah.
I was like,
So
I mean, today's uh stream is probably the only thing I was looking forward to all week, realistically.
yeah,
And of course your episode that you aired Monday.
Monday was a fun episode. Um, Talked a little Rocky. You know, Monday was really emotional though, man. We're all big wrestling fans, and Scott Hall passed away, and bad guy. I gotta ask. I'm sure he had some influence on your name, right? Or yes,
Um,
no.
so
Is he?
yeah, the name itself, the bad guy, because I mean that's like a preset name on the the video games that well, I think they put some on all the video games like SmackDown vs. Raw and
Yeah,
2K stuff. But I mean, I never because I was kind of born a little late. Didn't really get to see him growing up, but from the stuff I did see, like his highlight stuff, I always thought he was cool. I mean, he's the cool bad guy. The way he's flicking the toothpicks, just the way he'd comb his hair back, little his
yeah,
little
it's cool,
strut
man.
walk,
And I like
everything
that.
about him.
Yeah, I like that. You don't have to. You don't necessarily have to like grow up and watch them. It's just so cool that you growing up in a different era, going back and watching somebody like him, and then just gravitating towards that kind of entertainer, and then it just passes on from generation to generation. And he did his job, and he did his job well, and he entertained a lot of people. And I talked about it Monday on my episode about how he was like just an influence on a lot of people. Like whether you grew up watching him or not, like everybody knew who the NWO was. So it's huge, man. And then not even like him passing was sad, but the way he kind of went out because it was really super unexpected. He just went in for just basic hip surgery. So
Yeah, and it was what blood clot, right?
yeah, blood clot caused
Uh,
from like two massive heart attacks in surgery, and that was it.
it's kind of a big, some of the biggest fears, kind of either like blood clot and just the thought of having a heart attack going out. Uh, um, but I mean, the original bad guy, Scott Hall, the bad guy. Um, I don't know, man. It kind of, I mean, it really does suck that, I mean, didn't get to meet the guy in person. I mean, two bad guys meet each other. Couldn't get the passing of the torch. That would have been awesome. I know you got to meet him.
It was pretty cool. It was for a brief moment. You know, uh, it wasn't like it wasn't like a planned thing. I honestly thought about maybe not going through his line because at the WrestleCon, they do every single person charges 25 to 60 bucks. Ric Flair was charging $100 for his line, and it's insane if you want to pay it or not. But I was like, you know what? I met Kevin Nash. He was just a few feet down, so I was like, you got to do Scott Hall. It was upsetting that they weren't in a booth together, but yeah, fun times though, man. And his Hall of Fame speech, man. Everybody's been playing the last few lines of his Hall of Fame speech, and goosebumps, man, every time you hear it. So, but today, what are we? This was your choice, Pulse from 2006. Are you excited?
Am I excited? Mm.
You look
Eh,
guilty, man.
guilty. Am I excited? Most I'm excited about the movie. I mean, I'm always excited just to sit down and talk with Rowan, if I'm being quite honest. Um, yeah, this is a pick. This was like one. It was another movie on the spot moments. Uh, if you saw the last episode, I chose this one, and of course for the main show, I did choose the eye. And I know Juan didn't. He wasn't the biggest fan of that movie.
There's some
Um,
stuff you could appreciate though.
yeah, there's um when you say appreciate, you're just referring to Jessica Alba,
Oh, Jessica Alba, yes.
the eye
Yeah.
candy.
And speaking of eye candy for Pulse, man, there were some pretty fun scenes. We'll get into a little bit later on, but um, yeah, there's some candy throughout
Some
these
candy.
four movies, I guess. So some definitely underrated scenes for sure.
All right, man. Let's see. As far as our little
You want me to go off the? You want me to read the synopsis,
the synapse.
or do you want the pleasure?
Well, usually how it works is my movie, my
Your movie.
my job. Except for when we do the trailer stuff, that's kind of falls on your end.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Pulse. Oh, come on. Phone's over here trying to act up.
That's a problem when you go live. Live
Mm,
problems.
live. The synapses. So after her boyfriend commits suicide, a psychology student, Kristen Bell, and her friends begin receiving unsettling emails and video messages after a number of this. Damn. I just got kicked out of the damn. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna throw away this phone. Unsettling. Okay. Disappearances across campus. She teams up with the Avengers. Now, but she teams up with a computer hacker to shut down the deadly force being before it spreads to the rest of the world. And the release date on this movie was August 11th, 2006.
Mm.
So the director for this movie is Jim Sunzero or Sunzero.
Sun Zero. He's
He's Sunzero.
yeah, he's the long lost cousin of Sub Zero.
Long lost cousin. Um, it's starring Kristen Bell, Ian Summer Halder, Rick Gonzalez, Sam Levine, which is I know him from Freaks and Geeks, and he
Oh yeah.
did come on in Not Another Teen Movie. Um, Ron Rifkin, and then we have Christina Milian.
Mm.
I think there was more people into that. I mean,
Yeah,
how
there's a
did
small they're kind of like smaller names, but the only bigger name that's in there really is there's a small little cameo from Octavia Spencer. She plays a little role. Um I enjoyed the cast, honestly. Yeah, this is a little bit yeah, I enjoyed the cast.
um why isn't it doesn't even mention anything about uh Jonathan Tucker, right?
Jonathan Tucker.
Because like where I was reading off of all this, it had all these other names, and then of course scrolling down when it gets to the actual cast off of Google or whatever. There's Jonathan Tucker who plays Josh, the boyfriend who commits suicide in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Um, I know him from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003.
Oh,
The
okay.
guy with the curly hair, glasses.
Yeah.
I was
I
like
was
when I saw
go
him in
ahead.
the movie, I was like, where do I know his face from?
Jonathan Tucker.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, he's from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Kristen Bell was this? I think this was before her. Veronica Mars stuff, right?
Veronica Mars.
Yeah, yeah. No, this was right in the heights of her Veronica Mars. Veronica Mars started in 2004, and this movie was 2006. So, I mean, we're gonna show some love to it today, but man, it's got a 4.7 out of 10 on IMDb, and then the Rotten Tomatoes is at 11%. Mm.
Mm.
We're gonna have some explaining to do, but no, it's fun. I can't wait to get into it. And the original one, the Japanese version, is on HBO Max, but I checked this out on Tubi for free.
To be.
Yeah, would you check it out? Do you have it? Did you buy it?
I do own a physical copy.
Cool.
But I noticed this is unrated. I don't know how much of a differ that's gonna be from the version
Co-
you watched, or if there's
Completely
any
different
difference.
movie. Completely different movie. No, I'm just messing with you.
It's gonna be, I don't know. I mean,
Well, let's see. The PG-13 version is an hour and 30 minutes. Let's see what we can get.
hour and 30 minutes. Huh. Not.
And then, I think that might be the version that they have on Tubi. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, no. The Tubi version is like an hour and 25 minutes. So it looks like there's like 5 minutes extra than the uncut version. Oh, fucking camera.
extra bonus stuff.
Hey man, this camera moved on its own. Watching the pulse
It's got
unleash
some
some.
viruses.
Yeah, it's all those links I click on.
Mm, for the most part, I believe that was all the cast.
We can if you want to, we can go through and look at the cast.
Yeah. Technically, I was supposed to be what we're supposed to do the whole
Um,
time.
so if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, I'm using just Microsoft and Google because the images are a lot wider than um, what what
Ooh, that's
IMDb
nice.
had it
It's a nice
on.
picture.
Yeah, so it's a lot better looking on the Google. Kristen Bell. Yeah, I honestly don't even recognize Sam Levine. The only three people that I really know is Christina Milian, Octavia Spencer, and the Great Frozen Princess. Right? That's who she plays. Um,
The Great Frozen Princess. I mean, she's known for, like you said, Veronica Mars, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
oh, Forgetting Sarah Marshall is hilarious, man. Yeah, that movie is that's a good movie. I'm wanting to see the guy who plays Dexter. Oh no, that's not him. I guess a lot of people would know him from the Vampire Diaries. Then
I've actually never seen Vampire Diaries. I was
me
like,
neither.
but he does have a familiar face. Like I see him somewhere else though. I
Yeah,
just like
he looks like the guy from the Reba McEntire show. You watch that ever?
Reba McEntire. I mean, I catch glimpses of it. I know. Uh, come across it or the CMT. What was it channel
Oh yeah,
or
that's not
some
him.
other channel, whatever they already done.
Kristen Bell, man, she's moved up pretty far though. She's done a lot of good stuff. Um, she's done a lot of funny stuff. Couples Retreat. Have you seen that movie?
No.
She's in
Um,
Couples Retreat. That's a pretty funny movie.
I know she did a movie on Netflix. Or a show series on Netflix. I hadn't looked into that. That's supposed to be
So,
kind of horror.
oh yeah, she's in Bad Moms. Yeah, but She's really funny. I think when she's given some good stuff, she can be a pretty funny actress and pretty good. She's hilarious, and like you said, forgetting Sarah Marshall. Uh, yeah. What about you? Do you have a another picture or poster that you want to share?
So the UHD version of the poster.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
It's very similar to the Blu-ray one, but that's something you could expect if they ever do release a 4K copy.
You did a lot better job than the actual studio did, to be honest with you.
Mm. I just love the just it's very like creepy. But I don't know. I mean, the cover kind of looks kind of misleading a little. They look like more like zombies than
Yeah,
actual.
yeah, just a little bit. But I mean, the the actual one that's on like everywhere that you look up the movie, it kind of is a little misleading too.
With that one.
Yeah, but
That moment happens later on in the movie, but it's not exactly that.
fun stuff.
um. All right, Juan. Here's your favorite
Uh,
part of the show.
already, already.
Already, or was there something else you wanted to add on?
No, no, let's go. Let's dig into it. Let's
Let's
rate
look into it.
this.
Oh man, my movie. I go first.
You went, even though you went first during random acts of violence, we'll still let you go first. Your show, you always go first.
By default, I always go for what the
Yeah.
hell? Um, you know, this movie is in an era like I kind of talked about not so much, but a little bit in the I episode. You know what you're gonna get with these type of movies. um, it's another J horror American adaptation type movie because there is the one
For
from 2001 which I've yet to see,
for
so I can't
somebody,
really compare.
for everybody out there like listening or watching, when you say J horror, let them know what you really like, what it means or what it stands for.
So the casual people who are not really big on they're not cinephiles. J horror is a genre of horror, specifically done in Japan or the Asian culture stuff. It's so mainly their whole type is like mainly like ghosts, paranormal, like the movies like The Grudge, or even The Ring. All those type of movies. That's initially what J horror is, and I think um I'm very interested in that type of stuff. Um, I just love like it's like creepy. I mean, that's what they're all about in Japan. Like you'll hear about a bunch of haunted houses and stuff. So like the Grudge Ju-1 is supposedly like, based off of an actual spirit in Japan.
What'd you think of the 2020 version?
Oh boy.
Is it underrated?
Um, I I watched it. I still put it up there with
Did
the other ones.
you buy it?
I have not bought it yet. Not yet. Um, out of those movies, like I still don't own part three. Um,
I
but
didn't
yeah,
know. I didn't know Pulse, the American version, had two sequels. There's a
yeah, I
two and
didn't know
three.
until pretty recent.
So nice.
But I mean, I feel like I was enough stalling time, right?
No, you're good.
um,
I'm glad there because, um, you know, give or take, there's some listeners out there who email our show and are now following some stuff that you guys do and watch and stuff. So I had an email a few weeks ago that didn't understand what J horror was. So I'm like, just in case anybody watches, or this isn't going to be audio, right?
no. unfortunately.
Most of these are going to be YouTube exclusives. So just in case um, any of those emails are, doing what we want them to do, is to float over to Friday the 14th. I just want to make sure we or you told what J horror means, because we haven't hardly done any on the show, and I think the way you're talking and the way that some of these movies are, the Japanese versions are like phenomenal. I've only seen a few of them, but they're great for a reason. And I mean, yeah, the Americans, we dubbed them and we did our own version, and some people might say that they're bad, but I don't think it's fair to really compare the two. I don't know. Do you think it is? Because if you compare them 24/7, 90% of the people are going to hate the American version, right?
It's one of those. It's just like it's just like a person who reads a book and then or a comic book. It's all very similar. Your your expectations of seeing something adapted are like very high. But I mean, if you're watching the American adaptation first, because most of these movies I always look into the American adaptations first. So I mean, it doesn't take away too much from me. But I mean, whatever whatever you can get your hands on or like your access. I mean, sometimes you can't even access these the Japanese versions of the movies. Sometimes you just gotta settle with the American.
The Americans.
Just gonna watch both, right?
There you go.
um, I mean, they're both their own. Um, so uh, I'm gonna I'm doing it. I'm going I'm going three.
Go for it.
I'm going three out of five. Um, Kristen Bell. I don't know why. She was kind of giving me a little bit of Sarah Michelle Gellar vibes from The Grudge. Not because she's white and blonde. uh,
Um,
but a lot of it, I mean, I think it's just the vibes of something about the movie just makes you feel, I don't know, just feel like it kind of takes something out of you. Just sitting there. There's like a lot of it's like just dark, depressing because you're actually seeing videos of one issue that are like it's like suicidal stuff.
this is true. This is a first time watch for me, and when you announced it first 2 weeks ago, seeing the poster and then just some of the negative reviews, I automatically like shot myself down. I'm like, I'm not looking forward to this. I don't know what kind of movie I'm going to walk into, but watching it on a full, on an empty mind and just going into it with no expectations and just an open mind. I thought it was a pretty good flick. I'm gonna give this one a 2.5,
Two and a half.
2.5.
That's a lot higher than your one rating.
Um, and you know what? It all has to do with the story. I think it all has to do with Kristen Bell, the cast. It was, give or take. There's some that were not up to par like the others, but when I'm watching something like this, or I'm almost going to go back and take, more away from the eye. Like what the eye felt was a little wrong was it was all thrown on Jessica Alba's shoulders. It felt like, but nobody else really like worked with her. In this one, it felt the same. Like it was all thrown on Kristen Stewart's shoulders or Kristen Bell, but everybody like kind of picked up their slack, and I enjoyed most of the cast around her. But the story was like so unique. I don't think I had seen another movie like this because I haven't seen the Japanese version either. So the story was original. And I don't know if you've ever seen any of the old school Poltergeist episodes, like from the 90s. Not none of the movies, but just the TV show. The Sci Fi Channel
um,
kind of airs some of them now. But this reminded me of the Poltergeist TV show, and it just had like a classic feel to it. So I enjoyed it for what it was, and you know, I don't know how it would be on the rewatch because you kind of see everything come in the second or third time around. But for the first time, 2.5, I enjoyed it. It wasn't like an instant classic, but I think for what they gave you and for the story, it was a fun watch. So 2.5.
2.5. Still tasty.
And honestly, this watch made me want to dig in and start watching more stuff like The Grudge or The Ring. Unfortunately, I only own the American version, so I don't own any of the Japanese versions. But it made me want to even get into the American versions. The Grudge with Sarah Michelle Gellar. I used to have that one. I don't have it anymore. I got the 2020 version, but it makes me want to go out and look for the Sarah Michelle Gellar version.
Yeah, The Grudge. I forget what's referred to as. Oh
The
boy.
Gringo. No,
What?
the Gringo.
There's a cut. So I mean, there's theatrical, and then we have it's just unrated. Okay, so the unrated version. I remember seeing a while back. There's a scene. I was like, oh shit. There's one scene. I was like, oh man. Had they kept that in the theatrical, I'm not trying to give any spoilers, pretty much. But if you ever decide to go get yourself a copy of this one, you gotta go with of course, the Blu-ray, theatrical and unrated. But I think that's probably the scene I'm thinking about. Is probably the only thing that they put in there, but just kind of like a damn. So that was our ratings. How should we start the movie?
Well, we'll start the movie. What and it really kicks off when she sees her boyfriend hang himself, which is about like 15 minutes in. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen this, go check it out on Z2 for free.
To be
I
free.
just spoiled the shit out of it for you.
You did. You could have just started off with
Nope.
You follow this guy named Josh. He walks to the library. He's looking for a guy named Ziegler, or I don't know, Dolph Ziggler. No, Ziggler.
He's in the NXT.
He's the NXT champion. Jesus. They don't want to give him the world titles. They have to give him an NXT title. But yeah, he's in the library. And he gets attacked by, what would you call these monsters? Ghosts? Virus ghosts?
That's one thing that kind of had me sitting on the rails, that I didn't want to just fall in love with this movie, was I didn't know what those were. Is it a virus? Is it what happens when you click on the hub too many times?
Hey.
Is it
but my question is, how many times is too many times?
Depends on what day of the week it is. I kind of like the way they looked. I would almost call them just ghosts, I guess, because it's like the internet link opened up the world to this ghost reality, and they could come through the computer, or they could come through the. That's the only thing that was it was a fresh idea, but I just couldn't grasp how they would try to get away with it.
Yeah, they were going through. I think it was a connection, a signal, Wi-Fi, like computers, phones. It sounds a little funny hearing it out loud, but I think it's quite interesting. I mean, they find a way out of it, huh?
Especially if they did that movie like today with how many phones, or 2006 is one thing, but if you did this in 2021, they'd come through Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, we'd be fucked.
Everyone's dying.
We have smartwatches now too. Shit, they come through our watch and everything.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
you got that smart thermostat. And guess what? Them ghosts are coming through the smart thermostat.
you
Crazy
you
shit.
mentioned a smart thermostat. I see one of those, and my when I think about it, what do I think this messes up on you? I don't know. I don't know how like they work like smart ones. I feel like if they overheat, some kind of there'd be some problem with that.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I mean, the ghosts come through anything through like a Wi-Fi or landline cable. So
Yeah.
at least in the Pulse, or that's another thing I kind of like. I feel like this movie should have had the in front of it.
The Pulse.
Yeah, it went from 3 to 2.5 just because it didn't have the word the.
The
No,
the Batman.
but I mean,
Uh,
yeah, it was an interesting take, and I kind of enjoyed it. I just didn't know how they would get away with trying to put that on the screen. So I'm like, I'm intrigued now. I want to see how this is going to go. What do you think about
so
the execution? Because it had some pretty good, like creepy looking moments and feels, and the soundtrack was pretty cool. Um, and it's not like you know it didn't solely base itself on jump scares. So that's another thing that I kind of appreciated about it.
there were uh some there's a lot of cool moments. But I mean, essentially after that, she finds her, but even like the moment leading into it, she finds her boyfriend hanging herself.
Mm.
Kristen Bell's character. Um, so this guy, before hanging himself, you see that she goes inside his little apartment area, and I find that that part when he comes out, like I don't know what he has in his kitchen. It's like a plastic screen or something like that. And how he just walks out of it. It's like this guy, he's somewhat alive, but just seeing that is pretty creepy itself. Or you hear the cat meowing. They open up the door. It's
Oh, the cat.
oh man. If you're real squeamish and not a fan of seeing animals dead or about to die, you should probably close your eyes or avoid it.
Dude, that's the second movie in a week now, or at least on UHD. You have the dog and Random Acts of Violence. Now you have this cat, and I'm like, oh, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
But I mean, at least with the random acts of violence, I mean that dog was completely dead.
Yeah, that's
This
true.
animal is still alive. It's like I'm a cat owner, so it kind of it's a little
Hit you in the feels.
yeah. Um,
Cover your cat's face when you were watching that scene. Don't look.
don't look. um, how did it make you feel? I mean, seeing the sometimes in movies, they'll just show up to the feet part,
Oh yeah,
but this one just showed you all the whole thing visually.
visually, um, stuff like that kind of doesn't bother me. If anything, it bothers me more when you just see the feet dangle.
The feet angle. That's
Yeah,
like more PG-13 route.
yeah. Well, this movie was. I mean, thinking back at it, maybe that's what the difference was.
You
I'd
unrated?
have to I'd have to go back and rewatch, but I swear on the Tubi version, I only saw the feet dangle.
The
I'm
feet
not
thing.
sure when he was hanging.
They yeah, because I have the unrated version, of course, but it's show all the way to his. They don't show him hang himself, but
Right,
when
right,
he
right.
does it, but
Yeah, they don't
when
show that.
they show him, he's hanging.
And
Um,
my cut scene was really off too. So it like she walked in, saw the feet dangle, and then it cut to an ad, and I was like, "Oh, you son of a bitch!"
you son of a bitch.
And then when it came back from the ad, it was a whole nother scene. So I'm like, "What the fuck? What happened?" So I don't know if that's like a Tubi mistake, or if it was the ad, or if that's exactly what happened in the movie. So she walked in, saw the feet dangle. I got an ad, and then it came back, and she was like this, like, and then it cut into another scene. Fucking
Hmm.
Tubi.
Stubby, yeah.
They're the
How does
reason this movie's probably like a 2.5.
if
Like
you
if I
saw that scene,
bet,
oh, you got a three?
yeah, if I watched the Blu-ray version or the unrated version, I bet it probably would have been just a little bit better. I would have liked it probably a little bit more. That's why. See, I stress it every week. That's why you need to own the physical media
Physical
every
media.
freaking week. Hashtag
Yeah.
save physical media. Let's see it again. Let's see it again. Show it up. Throw it up there.
Oh,
Let
you
us
want
see
me to
that.
show up the
Let
physical
us see
media?
the physical media. Ooh, look at it. There it
You
is.
know, it would have
Nice
been
and
hilarious if I just,
shiny.
because I showed you the grudge earlier. It would have been hilarious if I grabbed the grudge instead.
Oh.
It's like, what are you doing? Wrong movie. um,
So yeah, I mean the feet kind of dangling just does kind of creeps me out a little bit more. But I do wish I would have seen the unrated version. Does stuff like that bother you?
not fully, but I know some of that stuff could be actually triggering to some people that are,
Oh yeah, big time.
yeah. It's like shit, man. It's like I don't know. It's almost like a tone it down, but don't tone it down too much.
Yeah. Do you think stuff like that is like bad rap on movies? Like, do you think movies should trigger and should pull stuff off like that, or if you have bad thoughts or bad ideas in your mind anyway, I feel like you know what, nobody's really going to force you to watch the movie, so you should probably just not watch it anyway. I don't know, but I mean, I've had arguments and some deep conversations with people, and you know, they kind of feel like I'm in the wrong. Like, you know, movies and Hollywood shouldn't touch those levels. But then I also turned it around and I'm like, yeah, but you watched 13 Reasons to Die back to back to back to back. So I'm like, or
Did you watch that show?
13 Reasons Why. My bad. I said 13 Reasons to Die.
You watched it?
13, 13 Reasons Why?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay, so
But I know
I
it's
mean,
pretty graphic though, and it's pretty like it talks about that stuff like numerous times. So
yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
in
I don't.
the whole show. I just know I was one. I mean, I saw it before they. I don't know. It was like a year later that they edited a scene that happens.
Mhm. So like I know like a lot of that stuff is hurtful and you know triggers some for some people to watch, but I'm also like, you know, Hollywood's just doing what they do, what they've done for hundreds of years. You know, it's what do you think? Do you think it's you know they're right for doing and putting some stuff on the screen like that, or are you like, you know what, nobody's forcing you to watch?
I mean, it kind of is true. No one's really forcing you to. I don't know, because I mean, it's a little like it's real and gutsy of them, real ballsy of them to take that action. But I feel like some creators want you to feel, or not to the people that are like having problems, but you know, for the people actually tune in for like gore or I don't know, just like hardcore horror fans.
Yeah. I always feel like too, if you do put something like super distasteful up on the screen like that, at least put like the 1-800 number in the credits at the end. Like if you want to please everybody, you know, at least put that number at the end of the credits. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
But this movie, yeah, this movie. What do you call them though? Do you call them ghosts? Do you call them like the living dead? Because it's kind of
Mm,
once they're out, everybody sees them, right? They haunt everybody.
they're digital monsters,
Digital
Digimon.
monsters. There you go. There you go, dude. That's the
Digital
sequel right
monsters.
there. Pulse 2.0.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they're
Digital monsters.
digital monsters. There's no really no other fancier name you can go with. Like I said earlier on, I mean, they're they're essentially, I mean, they're just viruses, physical viruses. But digital monster sounds like has a better ring to it, so we're gonna go with that. Um, I'm trying to think what actually happens after the. I think she just talking with her friends, and I just watched
Yeah,
the movie not that long ago.
yeah, me too. That's the only other thing that was like I was entertained while watching it, but now sitting here like 3 hours later thinking about talking about the movie, it just felt a little uneventful. Like it's pretty simple story, and it's a great story because it's like I've never seen another movie like it, but it just wasn't. It's not very memorable. Like she sees her boyfriend dangling, and then she has her friends go in and try to log him off of his computer because that's what she thinks that's going on. And then it's just one of those, you kind of got about 40 minutes of her meeting or finding the guy at the library, right? Who is a hacker. And it's just like, he's supposed to unhack this virus, I guess. We'll call him the unhacker.
Dion Hacker. How would you
Unhacker.
feel if someone you pass away, and let's say just for the sake of this topic, let's say you didn't have any family, and all your stuff was left behind at this place. I know you're living in a house, but let's say you were in an apartment, and these fuckers decide to sell off your physical media.
Oh, fuck. I would haunt the fuck out of them.
Oh man,
You
I mean,
sold you sold the Dark Knight to one person, and then the Dark Knight Rises to another person, and then you just left Batman Begins on the floor. Like, yeah, I would haunt the fuck out of you.
what's a bad man to get some?
And and if I could like do some physical harm, like Patrick Swayze could in Ghost, where I could learn to push somebody, I'd push motherfuckers off the train.
They're not even gonna leave you Batman Begins. They're just gonna straight up leave you Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I gotta sit there and just look at the case. I can't even like as a ghost. I can't even pick it up and put it in the player. I haven't learned how to pick things up as a ghost yet.
Octavia, she sells a computer. Uh, I already forget his name with the boyfriend's computer because
Oh,
they before finding
Josh.
out it gets sold. One of the friends, Stone, kind of reminds me of like a Travis McCoy, the singer from Gym Class Heroes.
Oh yeah.
But he goes over there. He kind of just breaks in through the window area. He's like, oh shit, there's nothing here, and he puts his finger on the table and it's all dusty. I was like, man, is was the apartment ever cleaned, or has just that been that long since the accident happened?
It's been that long. But
Ba-da-da-da. Take a look at my girlfriend.
um 2006, I was hoping for a little bit better CGI, but the CGI of some of the Digi monsters is also something else that kind of threw me off. Like I know some of them were like physical and you know practical effects, but a lot of them, the practical effects ones were pretty cool looking, but some of the CGI was a little off. Um, Especially, I mean, with a $20 million budget, that's a pretty big budget for a smaller horror film, if you ask me. But um, it was pretty dark, though. I do like the dark scenes and them kind of just like making you feel like it was a, I don't know, it was just like just the cinematography as far as just the dark shots were pretty cool. So, what do you think? Do you think it was too dark, or do you like how most of the scenes were like in an offset, like just dark area?
I like the dark filter. Because I mean it does when you're looking at these movies from the early 2000s, it kind of all meshes together. But I mean the dark tone, dark filter. I mean almost like a Twilight. No, it's not. It's not what it was. um,
So some parts to me did feel like an episode of Twilight Zone. Like I said, Poltergeist earlier. some of these, it felt like I was watching just um, one of those TV shows back in the day. Poltergeist, Twilight Zone, felt pretty cool. I like the. It felt more '90s to me than anything. I don't know about you, but like it didn't feel like an early
90s.
2000s. It felt like '90s, like straight '90s.
Huh. But yeah, I mean the overall like yeah, I mean it matches as well with the because a lot of it's suicidal stuff. You wanna feel like you're in this world where it's like dark. It's uh it's like it's one of those movies where you can't really just sit down and like have a good time like with a smile on your face. I mean, really, it kind of takes a little like it's almost as you're getting attacked by the monster and it's sucking your face out. Like it's I don't know. It's a weird way of describing of
She
how
gets
I
she
felt
gets
watching this movie.
yeah, she gets haunted from almost every angle. Like the scenes. Sometimes some of them kind of feel like flashbacks, and they're really not. They're just them like you know haunting.
Oh, the little vision. I don't even know what the hell. It's like a weird world they get she just gets sucked into.
Yeah,
It's like the digital world. What the hell? The digital monster world.
and even the ending almost like towards that middle to end part, like it even felt like an episode of like Walking Dead. Like she's just being surrounded by, they're all just surrounding her. Like there's no escape. Like that's the new world. It's like a very apocalyptic ending.
Yeah, that visually I think that was probably the coolest
Yeah.
scene. I mean it is that poster you showed on earlier. And what I was saying like it's almost accurate. It's like in the poster that's on there, she's right in the center in the middle. But in the actual scene in the movie, she's like in the eye area, just getting the hands that kind of just sink her in. So all those hands.
Sink or swim.
It's very claustrophobic. It's like oh shit. um,
What did you think of her? Like, I mean, I know we kind of talked about her at the beginning, but I mean, I liked her in this movie. I didn't know how she was going to be in a horror movie, but I honestly liked her. I thought she was one of the best pieces about this movie.
she's very enjoyable. Like I said, she kind of reminded me of like Sarah Michelle. Of course, she was like probably the overall best actor of the movie, without a doubt. Um, Great choice. I was trying to think of like any other horror movies that she's been in. Besides, I think she does make a little small cameo in Scream 4, I
Oh
believe.
yeah,
But man, she does fit the role. I mean, I like her Scream was very good. Um,
she has a good scream, and Forgetting Sarah Marshall too.
yeah, she does have that too. I mean, she's another eye candy. So even if you don't enjoy the whole movie story, I mean, there's that.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, and you can kind of see like they're like, oh yeah, this is a horror movie. Let's kind of sell some of the way she moves or puts her jacket on. Even with Christina Milian, the way she's like moving in bed, and I'm like, dang, you guys are really trying to sell that these are two good-looking women in this movie, huh? This,
she's putting her pants on you.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So they may not have the rated R horror scene, sex scene like some of the horror fans are used to, but they still try to sell some of that PG-13 tit action though. I mean, if I could say that,
Action.
action, action.
Mm.
But
So as far as death scenes, what was the coolest death scene to you?
death scene, oof.
Can you even call it death scenes really?
Most of them are pretty. I don't know, man.
Because you either had the people actually going through with the suicide, or you had the ones where actually disintegrating, going to like dust that couldn't kill themselves.
See, that's almost the word. That's the most like the scarier part. Almost like I don't like kind of like Coco. Like if you go on through and you can't do it, you just go through and be dust and you kind of forgotten about.
Man,
See, movies like this, man, they're kind of dangerous because they make you think. It's like,
it's like damn. I mean, it's there's either way. There's no winning in it. I mean, you kill yourself, you're dead, or you don't kill yourself, you die anyway. I mean, it's pretty just dark ass movie.
yeah, it's real dark, and it's more of an irritating, depressing movie than more than of a like. To me, I thought of this as a. I didn't think of this as your true horror movie. It felt more like a sci-fi thriller. Like there's still horror elements in it, of course, but I mean, yeah, it's pretty dark, man.
That part where Travis McCoy, like I like referring to him as Stone. He's whenever Sam Levine's character he sees him and then Stone just kind of just he's like I don't want to die and then he gets like pretty much sucked into like the wall but he's already like dusting away. You see his eye just I mean the CGI wasn't all that great with that part but so
He
shit
was he was blimping away.
he's blipping away. Daniel snapped his ass away. That's what happened. um, Sam Levine's character. That was one of the weaker deaths. If it wasn't even a death to be, because he's looking through he's taping up everything with the red tape, and he's looking through the peephole. And then the ghost pops up, and then the little glass from the eye hole it goes into his eye. I mean, if you saw the eye, Jessica Alba had more glass in her thrown at her face, and she survived. She went blind again, but she survived. But you tell me a little tiny bits of glass killed off Sam Levine.
Could be a pulsating headache.
Man, maybe.
What about you? Is would that probably be your most? I know that you made it sound like that's your most irritating death. But
Now it's kind of it was a weaker end. Hmm. What else happened? So then there's the hmm.
I'm trying to think from honestly from like 45-minute mark to about an hour, kind of just blends into me.
They showed that death where the person jumps off from the I don't even know what it is, like a water tower or something like that. Some water type of thing. Or it was just like an overall. They're outside, I think, at the university, and and Kristen Bell's looking up, and you see someone just drops.
I'm trying to find that scene in my notes.
See, I'm trying to think if that's an unrated cut feature, and you see the body drop because the body the body drops.
And you see the body drop.
Yeah, you see the body drop. I was like,
Yeah,
that's pretty graphic.
we might have to.
Hmm.
The water tower scene was pretty fun, but I can't remember if I saw the full body drop.
it's this is a it's gonna become a thing where you didn't want to revisit the movie. Now you're gonna have to revisit the movie.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and see if I'm. I'm just gonna have to buy it. I'm gonna
You
have
just
to
got to buy
go find the unrated version and purchase, and watch me end up liking it a little bit more.
it just for the visual deaths.
That's another thing though too, man. I don't know how anybody else is out there. Like I don't know, like if you when you watch stuff on Tubi, but when you watch stuff and it has ads, do you get like how are you with the ads? Do you hate
Hmm.
them? Does it
I
does
do hate ads.
yeah?
And
It kind of
here's something that's gonna tell you how much I hate ads. I have a subscription for YouTube Premium, which gives you no ads and YouTube videos. I have Spotify Premium, which you don't get no ads.
mm,
um, I don't know if there's anything else. I mean, usually with the other streaming services, that you have to pay extra just to have no ads. So
yeah.
yeah.
If I have any streaming services, I pay extra for no ads. Same thing with Spotify. Um, yeah, I think from now on, I'm just gonna probably have to go and just purchase the movie that we might do if I can find it, just because. And I'm not saying the ads destroyed the eye. That movie was a little rough for me anyway. But I do think with how much the Pulse had me intertwined and how much I do enjoy the story, it almost makes me wonder if I had no ads, if I enjoyed it, maybe even a whole star more, like a whole rating more, because some of the ads, like I'd be getting ready to get into the scene, just like the dude hanging himself. Like I'm like, oh, I'm getting into it, and the ad kicks on, and I feel like it skipped a scene, or I just feel like it skipped on to the next one. So I don't know. I'm not gonna blame the ads for the star rating, but yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know. I just hate ads.
yeah. I mean, whenever I'm when there's like movies like the stream where it doesn't have a physical copy, yeah, I had to watch Tubi or I don't know what other movies out there that just you can only find certain streaming stuff. But for the most part, I mean, I like you said, going on and actually just buying a physical copy itself. That's what I'm saying. Like I'd go as far as buying a damn thing just to avoid getting ads. I mean, you
Yeah.
can watch the movie for free, or you can just pay money. Um, man, what was the where did we leave off of? We were talking about. Did you
Uh, the
mention anything about favorite death?
yeah, you were talking about the water tower scene.
Uh, I don't know if that's my favorite death. I just thought that was another graphic scene from like as far as the hanging and seeing the body drop too. It's almost like a Halloween Kills, but less less school smash smash pumpkin referred to as that.
Yeah, the hanging, like, to me the hanging was pretty cool, just because like I only saw the feet dangling. So I don't know. Anytime I see hanging in any kind of movie, if I don't see it actually happen, to me that's more frightening of just seeing them dangle than actually seeing the whole thing happening. It's weird. Yeah,
Dangling.
dangling like
Dang.
jewelry.
Yes, like jewelry.
It's fucked up.
What do you think of their behaviors whenever they get infected with this virus type thing, and there's like just cold, frozen inside, it's not really that much to live.
Yeah, it's unique because you're sitting there thinking that this is like turning into slowly a zombie movie, and it's not a zombie movie. So you're like, you still have to like thinking about this movie on your toes. So it's it's kind of like I thought it was cool. Um, Almost like the slow turn or the not so distant, like what they would turn into or how they feel. But it was unique. Um, for some reason, it just made me keep thinking like Is this a zombie movie or what the hell is this? So, what about
Christina
you?
Milian, her character, she when she's about to die, it's kind of a little sad sad moment itself. Um, that she's like, it's like, hey, I can't do it, or like I can't go through it. And then out of nowhere, she just poofs right into like, I can't remember if Kristen Bell was actually holding on to her, and she just gets poofed away.
Blimps.
Blimps. Thanos at the rescue.
She starts giving the speech to Kristen Bell. I'm cold. I don't want to go.
Mr. Stark.
I don't want to go.
I don't feel so good. Sorry, you'll come back to the next movie. No, unfortunately, it's
Pulse
not come back.
2.
Pulse 2.
Hey, there is a 2 and 3. Are you going to get those?
Did they come back? Is that a spoiler? No.
I don't know. It's Pulse 2 Afterlife and then Pulse 3. You can't stop the invasions.
Is that what they're called?
Mhm.
That what? Pulse 2 Endgame? Not bad.
Pulse 2 Infinity War.
Since we're throwing out movie references, as far as the Digimon, they were when they would go attack you, they would like suck on your face. That kind of was giving me like Harry Potter vibes. Dementors.
Oh, the Mentors.
It's- Um, what'd you
Part
think of
2.
that? What'd you think of that scene when the guy just the uh the initial I don't know, what do you call him, like creator of this thing, or what he's trying to do. When they go talk to him, Ziggler, he's all taped up in his room area. They have all the red tape in this little living room area, or and then inside his closet. And she's going to like,
Douglas
oh, that's not the
Douglas
reason I want,
Ziegler.
huh?
Douglas Ziegler.
Douglas Ziggler or whatever.
That's Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler, it's his brother. Um, I don't know. All I thought was in that scene was, how the hell is he gonna lock himself in there and tape everything up and go inside the closet? I was like, what if this guy needs to take a shit or piss and he has to go out for more food? It's like he's not gonna survive very long staying in that area.
Maybe he wanted to be. Maybe he wanted to be a Digimon so bad. He was willing to do whatever it took.
What? Did you?
I mean, a Digi monster. Like, fuck it. That's one of the only. I didn't. That's one of the scenes I didn't care too much for. Honestly, it was um, like you called him the creator,
Tyler the
right?
Creator.
Yeah. I didn't really care too much for that scene or that part of the dialogue. That kind of threw me off as well. Like it was kind of at that point I was like I kind of felt like the pacing issue of the movie was just a little too slow.
I mean, you only get to find out he created it, but it's like, oh, well, there's really no solution. He had no solution of stopping him, which is like, uh, so it's very upsetting. I was like, and it's just a random scene, especially when they leave. He's taping. He's like, no, no, no. Closes the door, tries to tape everything in. Because they find a flash drive, I believe, and they try to end it all by doing that, hooking up to the system, the main area, a control system room, whatever. It seems to work for a little bit, but then it stops something really.
At this point, you have to. Who do you think they're gonna call?
Ghostbusters. Oh man.
um, I did like the scene where she and like you said Tyler the creator, her and is it Dexter were in the truck, and he's like, we got a half a tank gas, and then they like for some reason they pull the fuck over and go to sleep. They take a nap, and then she wakes up and like she's being attacked by the Gobstoppers or the
The
Digimonsters,
Digimonsters, yep.
the Digimonsters, and whether what do you think? Was it a dream, or was she just encaped in reality? Because it's the new norm. Then they drive off and it's now like the apocalypse. That's the new norm. I kind of just at that point I do want to like I don't think I'm going to spend money on the sequel, but I do. I kind of want to see what the second one's about now.
Mm,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
and it's called the Afterlife.
Afterlife. Her waking up, uh, it's pretty funny. She wakes up and her like pulse too. There it is, that color. It's very similar to the original. Um, she wakes up. Her face is like really close to what was his name again?
Um, fuck, Dexter.
Dexter Loomis. So
Is his
I
last
mean,
name really Loomis?
no, just compared to another wrestler who said Dolph Ziggler, Dexter Loomis. Um, yeah, when she wakes up, they're like her face, like it looks like they're like so close that they could, like they were like making out or something like that. They were like
They,
kissed.
they probably were. I mean, you only have like you're probably on the verge of like dying. You don't know how much longer you're gonna have.
I was like, what was that delayed scene that was cut out or what?
Yeah, you might as well just you know.
I
Fuck,
mean, but seeing that scene is like, oh, I thought she would have woke up and like just like dramatically like hopped away to go, oh boy.
Scream has ruined it for me because I'm always like, that's not the ending. Like Scream is, they're always like, there's always one more jump scare. I'm like, oh, here it comes, it's coming, and then this one you just kind of they end. But that's how I am now at the end of every horror movie. I'm like, oh, one more scare.
One more scare.
Sometimes, unless it's the eye, and then it ends in the orchestra.
Towards the orchestra and happy music towards the end. Oh man. Um. But yeah, anyways, that scene, the Digimon comes out of nowhere, RK out of nowhere. Um, and then she's like trying to wake up Dexter Loomis, and then they drive away, and she's like, why are they still following us? And it's the phone. I think she throws it, or I don't know. It's actually going blank at the moment. But anyways, it gets left behind, and they stop following her. Oh, because the signal cuts out, she loses service because her service plan sucks ass. That's why she throws it out.
So see, the easiest way to get rid of these motherfuckers would be just to,
And drop
uh,
all your
yeah, just go pretend you're living back in the 70s or the 50s, and you get rid of them.
yeah. But
I'd be I would be haunted for the rest of my life. There ain't no way I can go anywhere without my phone.
how long can you live on? I mean,
I'd get blimped.
I don't know, I feel like even then with certain different areas, they'll pop up from there.
Yeah.
It's like, but yeah, they drive off and then it pans out and then you're going back to that apartment building. And you see Josh, his body standing there looking out the window. He's looking to the side and then he turns the direction like he's looking at you.
His erection. What?
His direction, that's all things we're looking up.
Well, wait, was that the unrated version?
That's what happened.
The UHD cut?
Underrated, unrated HD, Blu-ray
I
HD.
was over here just scratching my head, then I heard that, and I'm like, wait, what?
Erection.
Did I hear something wrong?
Mm.
Man,
But man, that's
this review went way off.
so
But it was
many,
fun.
so many. different erections. I mean directions.
So many pulsating jokes we can have about Pulse.
Pulse.
Hey,
But
hey,
that,
hey, Darwin, what are you in there watching? The Pulse.
what the hell's the pulse?
Been trying to ask myself that for 20 years.
Mm. 20 long years. Yeah, that was essentially the whole movie, or at least to my memory, and I believe yours. All the key moments.
What did we learn today here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Go out and buy the physical copy.
Buy a physical copy, and drop your smart devices
Yeah. Or your trousers.
or your trousers. What are you dropping that to?
For real though, like yeah, go out there and spend money on some of these movies, man. Because I mean, yeah, it's easy and super cheap and effective to watch Tubi or Pluto or even some of the stuff you might buy like HBO Max. But man, it's pretty cool having physical media too. So I really think a physical media watch would have made me enjoy this movie just a little bit more. Maybe not a big difference, but I bet this movie would have been a three.
mm,
Yeah. So,
3.
and I'm gonna have to go revisit it. I'm gonna go find it, and I'm gonna rewatch it again, and I'm gonna talk to you about it some more.
On the next stream. All right, what? That we're done talking about it.
Speaking of the next stream, was it? Did Fuentes announce what was next? Oh, he did. It was some Netflix movie, huh?
It was a Netflix movie, and I can't even remember the title of the
Yeah,
movie.
me neither.
Like, what are you picking, man?
Yeah, I completely. I'm gonna have to go back and re-listen to it. I completely blanked.
I don't know if it was like a Netflix or
It was a Netflix
original.
original. Yeah. The only thing I remember from it is that it's got Ashley Green in it from Twilight.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Alice.
Alice. I can't forget Alice. No
Mm.
siree. Mm.
But I mean, yeah, well, man, that's the next movie for the main show, Friday the 14th. But um, did this movie have any fun facts?
I just had that pulled up, honestly.
And you put what pulled up from the direction?
Just hold on. Am I talking Blue Chew or is that only on Mondays? Um. Oh, this is fun because Bob Weinstein and Harvey Weinstein are so fucking perverted.
Oh yeah.
Bob Weinstein and Harvey Weinstein were initially hesitant to produce this film, considering it be too similar to The Ring. Both films are remakes of classic J horror films. I was gonna say Bob and Harvey Weinstein were when I was reading this, I was gonna say, oh, they were hesitant to make the film because Kristen Bell wouldn't do anything with them. But no, those damn Weinstein people.
So apparently the opening scene in the library was shot in 5 hours.
5 hours?
I
Only
thought,
5 hours?
so come on, man, just get your line right, man. Ziegler.
Yeah, that's what the 20 million went on.
And then the guy with his the Digimon was not selling it. It's like, come on, you gotta give us a better performance, man.
Oh, what? Kristen Dunst was set to star originally and was supposed to shoot before returning to Spider-Man 2. Wow. That movie would have went from $20 million budget to $35 million budget. And that would have been all her paycheck. Wes
So this
Craven
was
once
the
set to direct the film.
who?
Wes Craven was once set to direct the film, but bailed out before production, which led to the film being officially canned at one point. You could have had Kristen Dunst and Wes Craven on this project.
That's a whole different vision.
Then it would have been called The Pulse.
The Pulse. Then you would have, yeah.
Yeah. Then it would have been rated R.
So this was the direct debut and last film of Jim Sun Zero.
Oh, get over here. The trailer features footage from the original Japanese film called Kierero. I don't know if I'm saying that. I'm probably butchering the fuck out of that, like sushi. One shot in particular features a plane crashing. The shot was redone for the final film. Interesting.
I believe that's. I don't know. Let's see. Have one more in you. Fun fact.
One more fun fact.
One more fun fact.
Another movie with the same title and similar plot was about evil electrical powers and titles was made in 1988, but it wasn't connected to the film in any way. When I read evil electrical powers, because of what you said earlier, bad guy, I almost said evil erections.
Evil directions. You say evil electric?
But no, yeah,
Electro?
evil electrical power entities.
Titties? Tell. Okay.
Entities.
Entities.
That's not what I said
Titties.
at all. Uh, this is a
Well, we
remake of a
we
Japanese horror
obvious
movie.
titties. To be continued, well, obviously this movie has two sequels,
Dose.
but pertaining there was no sequels. I think I already know your answers to this.
I would need a couple of Dosakis in me to probably watch part Dose.
Part dose.
Yeah.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Dosakis, that should be a fucking, like, I don't know how, I don't know why, but that should be a segment.
What would you do for those days?
What about you? Are you interested in seeing the sequels? Do you think after the first one you're like, oh yeah, this definitely needs sequels, or are you like, nah, I'm not even gonna touch those two?
Well, I would. It's kind of one of those like, oh, I don't want to touch it, but then I do want to see how far this war goes, and like maybe like I don't know how many years pass, and then they're still going through this whole thing. How they're dealing with it. That'd be a awesome look. I feel like the second movie is not even. I don't know. Maybe it is that direction. Erection. um, I just have to see. I don't know. But I mean, I am interested in seeing a sequel.
I think if I could physically watch them and put them in like the player and watch them like that, I think I might be interested in them. But I don't know. This movie wasn't terrible by all means, so I do think they open up a whole new world to explore, good or bad. Um, so I think I think it would be at least watchable. I think it should. I think maybe I would check it out at least once. So there, yeah.
Nice. Now it's to be continued. Boys and girls
Children of
and
all
dogs
ages.
and cats and yeah. um next film trailer reaction.
Oh
Juan,
no,
are you able to do the honors for us?
am I able to do the honor?
Ah,
Well, I'm having a little technical difficulties. Um, I have a poster up if that's okay for now.
poster.
Yeah. Are you ready? I didn't hear anything. Is that a yes or you're not ready?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm ready. Ready, Freddy.
Stupid technical difficulties. So when thinking, you've beaten me numerous times on some of these movies. Underrated HD. We were supposed to do like originally be cheesy classic horror movies. You know what? What did the couch eat, or some stuff like that, or something. The Haunting of Frosted Flakes. Anything that's be cheesy movies, but we kind of just went our own way. You select a little bit more of the really underrated stuff that maybe people haven't heard from. I've been selecting semi, you know, uh, well-known slash stuff. Then I just come out and say, hey, this could be underrated, and yet we still talk about it. So I think you're winning. I don't know how this goes, or if anybody is at home keeping track, but this movie to me is underrated. I don't. Everybody gives it shit. Oh fuck, no. Yeah, technical difficulties here. Oh my god, what am I doing? Okay. I would like to talk about 2007's Rob Zombie's Halloween.
You're going for it. You're
I'm
going
going
for
for it. 2 weeks from today, which is actually March 30th. It's kind of funny. It came out August 31st. Halloween's on the 31st. We're talking about it on the 30th. I'm just saying. I'm excited. I do think a lot of people really trash this dude's vision of Halloween and this dude's vision of what Michael Myers probably should be. Um, Nick, you're a huge Michael Myers fan. You eat, sleep, and breathe Michael Myers. Um, Everything. He's right behind you. Look out, he's right behind you. Um, I just, I really think people will dog this movie, man, and I don't know why, because it has been like, there you go, you got the mug. It's been like 5 years probably since I've seen this. Um, but I think it'd be fun to just dive into and dissect. And if we have issues about it, by all means, we can sit there and discuss our issues with the movie. But if we like it, and for some reason, if we dig it, I think it'd be a fun conversation to tell people why to appreciate something like this. And people are always going to compare this to the original, but I think what Rob Zombie's vision is and what his artistic creativeness for directing is different. And I think that's how you have to go into this. You can't go into this movie thinking, I'm going to watch a Halloween movie or I'm going to watch a Michael Myers movie. You have to go into this movie thinking you're going to watch a Rob Zombie movie. So, do you have any thoughts going into it, or do you just want to save it for the episode?
Let's save it for the episode. As far as technical difficulties, why wasn't it? How come I wasn't playing?
Huh?
Because you're saying you had technical difficulties. Was that
Yeah,
on?
it was
That
on.
was on YouTube.
No, it was on my YouTube, and I just couldn't. I couldn't get a
Uh,
video to stream. I don't know if I'm having like Wi-Fi issues.
uh,
Yeah, I'm gonna try one more
one more time.
time. But
So yeah, Rob Zombie's Halloween. I do own that on DVD. I own that in a Blu-ray, which I have in the collections that I have. I also own the Steelbook version, which is, of course, more likely the director's cut. But also I have this version. Also, I think it's also it's theatrical. Second one says it's theatrical, but this first one doesn't say it's theatrical. I assume it is. So this is a more cleaner version versus the zombier version. So that kind of leaves me the question: which one? Which one?
Which one? What?
Which one we
Which one we're gonna
review?
watch?
Yeah.
Um, I have it too. I think it has both of them in the Blu-ray one that I have. So
Widescreen.
some more technical difficulties,
If not,
but we're getting there. I think we got it.
you got it. All right. Mm. I mean, I will give Zombie props to at least trying to give a little bit more story, even though I know a lot of Halloween fans it probably they're not how do you explain it?
They
Because Michael
trashed
Myers
this
the whole
movie,
thing.
man.
The interesting about Michael Myers, like he's just a boogeyman. I mean, it's really left to the imagination. Like if you give him an origin story, it kind of really takes away from um certain parts where people actually don't like. Because I mean, you see Michael Myers, it kind of gives him a little humanizes him a bit. But it's also the family's kind of like trashy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a love hate type of thing without trying to go into like further spoiler review.
We'll get into it for sure. But if there's anybody out there who's like, yeah, I'm definitely skipping the next episode because I don't want to watch Halloween. Again, if you haven't seen it in a while, Nick, I don't know how long it's been since you've actually sat down and watched it. It's been about 4 years for me, maybe.
Oh man, it's been a long while. It's on Netflix currently, so I mean, uh, it might have been a couple of weeks back. I tried watching it, but then I didn't finish. I was like maybe like 5 minutes in.
Oh damn!
Oh, so
Was it?
what it was I was trying to watch a movie, and my I got a new TV and it came in.
Oh hell yeah! So you're like in the candy store.
I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna drop the movie and then set up my TV.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I know a lot of people have issues with this, but like I said, I mean, go into it with an open mind and just try to think of yourself as just watching a Rob Zombie movie. So if you like The Devil's Rejects and you like Three from Hell, go in thinking about one of those and just go in thinking about Rob Zombie movie. And I think it'll be fun. And I don't even know how I'm gonna like I said, I haven't seen it in like 4 or 5 years, so I might dog it too. I don't know. I think it'll be a fun conversation, but I do feel like it is underrated. A lot of people dog on it. So, and it's gonna be man, it's gonna be a busy week that week. Um, at least it's WrestleMania week. Oscars are like the 27th, a week before WrestleMania, and then we're talking on our episode on my end of things. We're talking about a 50th anniversary of The Godfather. So it's gonna be a busy, busy week, but it's gonna be fun. I can't wait. It's always a fun first week of April is always fun.
Yeah.
So,
So I mean, you can follow us on Instagram, or essentially anywhere else. I guess Facebook, I believe. Yours similar to what yours is, right? Or does yours
uh,
have the
my Facebook,
yeah.
yeah, the Facebook is just facebook.com/the Cinnamon Movie Podcast, and you guys can see all the stuff that we do from there on the links, giveaways, all kinds of stuff. So give us a follow there.
And for our Friday the 14th podcast, it's Friday the 14th podcast UHD. That's for both our the main and this show. So you want to keep up with what our catalog consists of. That's majority of our all our UHDs on there. Like our I have on the story highlights stuff there.
Yeah, even sometimes sometimes we may not even announce what we do maybe on the show. Like for example, I almost did not go with Halloween. I was going to be like, hey Nick, let's not talk about what we're going to do this week, and maybe let's just put it up on like an Instagram story. So I mean, keep an eye out for that because I'm sure Instagram can always be a tool for some announcements.
Yeah. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me at the 4K bad guy. Yeah. Um that's about um catch some of our other stuff on our YouTube channel. We got some wrestling content if you're a wrestling fan. I mean, me and Juan are wrestling fans. As you can tell with the wrestling references we threw out there, or even just the mentioning of one of the legends that recently passed, Scott Hall. Um, but yeah, or the Emo Swall Productions, they have a bunch of wrestling stuff on their content, whether it be interviews, some card unpackings with wrestlers, different stuff. Or you can just watch some more Friday the 14th episodes. And I think that's about it as far as, oh man, I don't know.
Yeah, that's some good mentions. Instagram for me is just almost the same thing, just one word, Cinema Podcast, and you can go look at just like Nick's Instagram. Just go look at all of the uh, physical media stuff we have on there. It's some fun stuff. Like, share, tag, talk about us, talk about some physical media.
All right,
So,
man. Just to throw out there before closing this fully, the last time you teased me with your Batman posters.
oh
Well,
yeah,
I don't know if you saw Batman for the fourth time.
not yet, just three.
Not yet. So I don't know if you saw the little update or news they threw out there. If you go out and see it on IMAX, you get a free poster.
Oh, what? Did you go see it?
I saw it again on last Saturday, and I got
Yeah,
the poster.
nice.
But
How
that was
was it?
before even knowing I was gonna get a poster. Like I
It's
saw the
big.
thing, I was like, oh shit,
Nice,
it's just a nice little size poster.
nice, good. I know as soon as the pre-order comes up for the steelbook, I'm just going to be sitting there just da 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 da. I'm going to try to hurry up and snag that because I know it's going to go fast.
Did you get
So
this Scream still book, or you're gonna pass
I
on
don't
that?
think I did. No, I don't think I did. Oh wait, which one?
The new one.
The new one? No, I'm just going to go with the original 4K because the slip is pretty cool.
Uh,
So yeah.
all right, man. Normally I close out with the Rivera folks always been the bad guy, but out of respect for Scott Hall, uh, what's the? I feel like I'm gonna butcher this. Bad times don't last, but bad guys
Do.
do.
There you go. Goosebumps.
See you later, guys.